I'm Sean Donovan,
I'm Trevor Sorek.
and welcome to
back.
welcome back to the Fine
We're
Cut.
back.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been 2 weeks since we've released an episode.
2 lifetimes of the
Yeah.
universe.
At the end of the last one, which was the Killers of the Flower Moon pod, which crazy to think, but we said that we'd do FNAF, and FNAF weekend came. Some schedule mix-ups happened. Couldn't record, and then the next weekend, I was sick.
Incapacitated.
Yeah, I was not feeling the greatest. My voice was shot, and I did not want to sit out in a cold, basically.
You mean this warm and well-lit, nice studio?
Yeah, of course, definitely.
Professional studio.
Yeah, no, I just didn't want to. I didn't want to risk getting any more sick, so we decided not to do that. But we're back. We're back with this week though, and it's actually perfect timing that we're back because like nothing really released last week besides the Sofia Coppola movie Priscilla, which you didn't even see.
Don't say it like that. I might watch it someday.
Okay. Well, I watched it. It was good. But this week we got a nice slate of movies coming out. And we're going to be talking about 2 of them. The new release from the MCU, The Marvels, which hey Trevor, what do you
Oh, you mean that movie I totally watched?
Yeah, the one that you totally watched. And then there's the other one that came out is David Fincher's newest film that was released on Netflix literally a day ago.
Yep.
At the time we're recording this, The Killer.
Going from Killers of the Flower Moon to Just the Killer.
Just The Killer. But we'll be discussing that as well as we're giving the promised FNAF review as well.
No way could we skip that one.
Yeah,
It's
FNAF.
talk about it.
It's Five Nights at Freddy's. So
cultural phenomenon. I just slurred the phenomenon so bad. But oh my gosh, what a peak culture movie right there. Like,
I don't know if it's peak culture, but
I mean,
anyways, we'll get to that.
Very important, notable film.
Yeah, actually, it might be notable in these, like the box office wise, but we'll get to that when we review it here in about in a few minutes. But while we were gone, of course, a lot of movie news happened. We have three movies that we're going to be covering, so we're just going to skip over a decent amount of the movie news. Nothing really, or there's some big stuff that came out. You know, you got your Inside Out 2 teaser trailer came out. You got you got like a bunch of teaser trailers, some posters, some confirmations on
probably
some stuff.
a new Aquaman trailer, but we don't know.
We don't care. But the biggest news that I do actually want to go over is that this week the actors' strike officially ended. It ended on Wednesday. Or it didn't end on Wednesday. The agreement was met Wednesday, and I think it ended Thursday morning at 12:01 a.m.
Right. So the writer's strike ended a couple weeks ago,
yes.
right?
It ended, I want to say it ended about late September, I want to say. So
writers,
yeah,
actors, the duo's back.
They are back. They definitely got, it sounds like they got a great deal on the stuff they were fighting for. A lot of stuff on AI. I don't have anything like super, like I don't have the notes here for what they've done, so I'm gonna look them up quickly. But definitely, it seems like I think it was 86% of the not the guild itself, because they have to. I think they're sending that to for a vote from the guild, but it was like 86% of the people who could ratify it gave it a good thumbs up. So yeah, it says here that the national board has voted to approve the agreement with 86% in favor of it. The actors now will vote to ratify the deal. Some of the stuff that they got was that they got informed. Are you okay?
I'm listening. I'm listening intently. I'm sorry.
Hearing I'm hearing like you go.
What? I'm sorry. I'm breathing over here. I didn't do anything. I'm just like listening intently, and you're like calling me out or something.
I don't know if it's. It honestly, I don't know.
Did
if
my
it's gonna,
eyes? I was like staring through you or something. You're like, is he listening?
Yeah, maybe. But they secured consent and fair compensation for the creation and use of digital replicas. So if like an actor gets scanned, they need consent to do it.
If I create a 3D model of Nicolas Cage and have Space Jam 3 happen, and then like every person in the stand is a 3D model of Nicolas Cage, I have to pay Nicolas Cage?
Yes, that's actually another thing.
This is bullcrap.
So for an employment-based digital replica, actors will be paid the equivalent to the payment if they did the work themselves. So it definitely sounds like.
So like if they put in no effort in the 3D model, they don't get as much money.
It might be that. It might be like, this isn't
Nicolas Cage didn't give me enough animations. You didn't put on one of those suits with the dots on them for me?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
But also it says that the contract will ensure background actors are hired and not replaced by AI. Adding that
yes.
Hold on.
Our backdoor entry into Hollywood is still available. We can be background actors.
It also add that I should say I got all this information from the Twitter page, as always, discussing film.
You mean X?
Fine. Okay. But it said that no digital replicas can be used to evade payment of a background actor. So it does look like that's actually, definitely that's the things
wait.
that they were
fighting
for.
What if your 3D model is something you created and it's not based on an actor or at all? Like
I don't know. That's just what I'm reading off of this X page.
Okay. I just have questions because, like, what if I?
No, I get it.
What if I create someone who's like, I don't know, like, there's no way any real person could look like that,
I don't know. I think it's just like it's probably like that's more like probably CGI. Like
they're gonna cut corners by like not having humans in the background.
Maybe
like animals or something.
Oh, that would be bad. But it also some other things that were for on-set work. It said that they must have proper hair and makeup services for all performers, including those with diverse and textured hair and complexions, as well as this is the weirdest one that I was like, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's something that I would like just kind of go gloss over, but it makes a lot of sense. But there is a requirement for intimacy coordinators present for scenes involving nudity and simulated sex. So it seems like
you need like a coach,
I guess. I mean, it definitely seems like, because it could be like,
the director's like, yeah, just go at it.
So it
camera's rolling.
Probably could. It probably
like,
is to
hey,
stop
this is not cool. I need a coach. I don't want to just listen.
I need
to
a
you,
coach
Mr. Director.
I need a coach how to, but anyways, that's
that
pretty
won't
much
make it any less awkward.
Yeah, but that was pretty much the main movie news I wanted to go over.
Sounds like a good deal.
It definitely does. It when I saw the numbers, it was a little odd because the WGA strike, they ended with like, I want to say like, oh geez, excuse me. It like 99% of the members voted in favor of the contract for the WGA.
That's a good,
which is a difference from the 86. Not by a lot, but it's just like, I don't, it could be like, oh, like, kind of thing. So I don't know. We'll see. That probably this week the actors will go in, vote for it, and ratify the contract. Just want to give, congratulations to the actors, honestly.
Kind of interesting how all actors are just like under one umbrella like that.
It is insane, but yeah, congrats to the actors. We're finally, I mean, I saw Brie Larson and Tom Hiddleston were on Jimmy Fallon last night promoting Loki and the Marvels. So they're back to promoting.
They could do that now.
And so
and the Marvels really needed some
and
marketing.
yep, the Marvels definitely needs that marketing because I actually read
Marketing that's not centered around, oh, remember the Avengers?
yeah. So of course, as we said, the Marvels did release this week. The Marvels though, this came 7 hours ago from discussing films that that it earned $21.3 million in its opening day, which seems a lot, but is the lowest that an MCU movie has had for an opening day box office.
They were playing at a whole different scale. That's for sure.
So,
and I'm sure the budget was pretty high on this movie too.
I don't have the budget offhand, but let me check. Well, also it's like Disney is very kind of close. Like keeps that close a bit with how much it is, but it was rumored to be.
They don't want to admit it, like the Chad DC people. They're like, the Flash flopped.
It's right now estimated to have been a $219 million to a $274 million production.
What? That's so high.
So yeah.
Where did all that money go?
I don't know. But I did see,
and half of that was for Brie Larson's personal I don't know, trailer.
Personal trailer, I guess, yeah.
She's like, I demand that. No, I'm just kidding.
But I saw the movie.
Yeah, so why don't you sell me on it?
You didn't.
I'll play the standard crowd right now, the standard feeling of like Marvel's kind of dead. What else do they have to offer, really? So and then you play the person who's trying to like, hey, it's not so bad.
Yeah. So you didn't see the movie. I'm just gonna keep reiterating that.
I'm sorry.
And do you hold those statements of like Marvel's dead? I remember we did a little episode.
So I
Ant-Man,
personally I saw that. Right, we did talk about Ant-Man way back. And I personally didn't think Ant-Man or the Doctor Strange movie, for that matter, was that bad.
Mm-hmm.
But they were both disappointing because they had so much potential and could have been much better movies. Okay. Especially Thor 4 as well. Thor 4 had the chance to tell.
Oh God, I got him into his MCU rant. No.
Well, it's not going to be a long one. The point is, like, Thor 4 had the opportunity to tell maybe one of the most emotional stories out of any of the movies so far, and it totally flopped on that promise 100%. And then, like, recently, I watched the Secret Wars show. Or the, Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. You saw that. I did not watch that.
Secret Invasion was so garbage in terms of, like, quality. I'm not just.
Yeah.
I get that they had some challenges. Probably like, I don't remember when they filmed it, but it was probably during COVID, at least part of it, and they had to do some rewrites, just like the other show, like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show, because some of the plot points hit a little too close to home with real world events. Yeah, that's what I read. And Secret Invasion was like partly about like Russia and like Ukraine type deal, and it was like, that's yikes. In my opinion, they should have just stuck to it, whatever it was before, to be honest, but they changed it due to pressure probably from higher up. Anyway, the point is, it was garbage. Okay, yes. And that's really where I've lost all faith in them putting anything good.
Okay, so you're kind of just like, no.
I'm where most of America is.
Most of the America. Okay.
Yeah. So
my take on the Marvels is that if you are looking for a movie that is an MCU movie, I should say, that is just like one of the top 5 MCU movies of all time, you're going to be disappointed.
You don't say.
This movie is not a great movie, but it is a fine to good movie.
So
So
it's basically where the last like 5 movies have been.
kind of. So I was looking at the last 5 movies. Well, Guardians of the Galaxy.
The exception.
That's the exception. That's,
yes,
that's kind of out of
Guardians of the Galaxy was good.
That's yeah. So looking at the last 5 movies. So the last 5 movies are should we get rid of Guardians, cuz that's like its own little separate thing, I feel. It's a part of the MCU, but it's kind of like off to the side.
I
So
mean,
I'm going to get rid of that.
It counts technically.
Okay, fine. We'll keep it in there. But we have Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man the Wasp, Quantumania, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Thor Love and Thunder, and Doctor Strange. And
I
the
totally
Multiverse of
forgot
Madness.
about Black Panther.
I did
To be
too.
honest.
Which is weird because out of the past 5, how I'd rank them is Guardians 3 is number 1.
Yeah.
Black Panther is 2. Remembering, like, kind of thinking back to that movie, it's just, like, its only fault is that it's long and that there's sometimes there's, like, a lull.
And, well, I feel like with that one, it's like you could have...
Or, you know what,
you could have said more and you didn't, you know? Type of thing.
You could have said more with this runtime, but you didn't use the runtime well. You used it more to, like, promote the Ironheart show.
Yeah.
That is indefinitely delayed right now. So
sure, exactly.
So I'd say Guardians 1 or Guardians Volume 3 is number 1.
Yeah.
Black Panther is number 2. Multiverse of Madness is 3.
Okay.
And I think that's where the Marvels sit, is right between.
So ahead of Ant-Man.
Yeah, it's ahead of Ant-Man and ahead of Thor: Love and Thunder.
So
I feel like the Marvels and Doctor Strange could switch.
I do have a master ranking on my Letterboxd of all MCU projects.
Okay.
Just throwing it out there for anyone who wants to take a look. Out of like, I think it's like 40 projects now. Now I haven't seen. I'm not totally up to date. Obviously, I haven't seen the Marvels. But what
I'm trying to pull it up right now.
What you're telling me is the Marvels would probably be like.
It
wouldn't even be top 20. Probably it'd be like the lower half. Like right in the middle somewhere.
Looking at your list, it would be a little bit under the top 20.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, it's halfway. It's very, so a lot of people don't, of course it came out earlier that when it was released, it got like a 56 on Rotten Tomatoes. Now it's up to, I think, a 63, 62.
Okay.
Which is about where Thor: Love and Thunder and Doctor Strange are sitting at. So it's like, it's fine. It's a good, like, time, but it has its faults.
I'm with everyone else though. I feel like the time for the mid, kind of playing it safe MCU movie, it's over. I want to see something good. I want like an actual good.
See, now that's the thing though, is that like looking at like a lot of the MCU past,
I think a lot of them.
There is a lot more. Just it's very mid movies, and I think the reason
I think a lot of those mid movies get a pass because some of the characters in them are like strong, like because they've had more than one movie to develop them, and like.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like looking back, it's like the MCU's just been mid all along. Has its highs and its very low lows, but it's mid. This movie is mid. It really is.
I'd say, like, based on my list, I think, like, after, like, 14 or 15 out of all the projects, then it's just, like, there's nothing of note.
See, but now you're even saying, though, it's like most of the movies are mid.
Well, yeah.
So, like...
It's kind of where I've...
So, I will say this, not, like, defend... Because, not to say, like, go see it. If you go see it, if you're a Marvel fan, it's fun. It's got its, of course, it's like there is its campy parts.
Does it have an emotional core that's
not
like
really
trying to say something?
No.
It's that's so disappointing to hear, really.
See, but that's the thing. Is like I look at it and I go, because this is a big debate that I have with Marvel movies, is the turn off your brain movie. Is where a lot of those movies sit.
I don't like that argument.
And I think, well, hold on.
Like the argument that you should, turn off your brain.
No, it's not that it's turn off your brain and just, like, mind be like, like, just staring at the TV. What I'm saying is that there is a certain place for movies like the MCU movies where it's not David Fincher's The Killer, but it's not this like it's not
B-movie.
it's not this B movie that's like, oh look, it's
Not even trying.
it not even trying exactly. It's competently made,
I get what you're saying,
but it's not supposed to be
I don't need like peak cinema. Okay.
exactly. But that's the thing. I think a lot of people sit here and go, MCU needs to be peak cinema, and I think also it's because the marketing has made it basically go, this needs to be peak cinema. And I think I think that's where its fault is.
People
and I
are
think,
rebelling against the marketing.
I think a lot of people are rebelling against it because they're like,
Everyone likes it now. I don't like it anymore.
yeah, and exactly. And I don't know. I personally, I think it's a fine movie. It's very mid to good. And I think a lot of people that are like, this is the dumbest, worst movie, boo, is just being like, hopping on the Marvel hate train, when it's like, guys, if you think peak cinema is Avengers Endgame, why are you a movie critic?
First of all,
at the point, so
Avengers Infinity War was better anyway.
yeah.
Anyone who thinks Endgame is better is, I don't know what's
I don't
wrong.
know. I feel like right now, I will say this, and this kind of ties into what happens. Quick spoiler alert: if you don't, you've already seen the end credit scene.
I haven't seen it, but I know.
But
what
you
it
know
is.
of it, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna spoil the end credit scene. The end credit scene might be my favorite part of the movie.
You can't
solely.
do that. No spoilers.
I'm spoiling it right now.
Okay.
But and also the reason why is because I'm gonna say what I was gonna compare
Fox
to.
X-Men universe.
I didn't even give him the spoiler warning to tell him to leave. Deadpool 3 is already in production.
Okay,
so
here's a question. Not to totally cut you off, which I am anyway.
okay.
Do you think them getting to the X-Men stuff will bring it back somehow?
No.
I think a big problem with that is like, okay, if you're including the X-Men universe and like characters we've already seen in those X-Men movies, which not all of them were even good to begin with.
So that goes to my point though, is that I think Marvel right now is in its Fox mid-2000s phase. What I mean by that is that like Fox had a lot of success with like X-Men, the Blade movie. A lot of those Fox Marvel movies, like
the Raimi Spider-Mans, right?
The Raimi Spider-Mans, exactly. Like they were all kind of critically successful. And then they started going more not like zany and wacky, but
Fox didn't even try to connect their movies for some
they
reason.
didn't, but it kind of like delved off, it kind of like veered off. And I think that's where the MCU is right now, is that it's in that little like lull period where it's like just kind of coming out with some random movies. And I mean, I was talking to a friend of ours yesterday, and he was telling me we were talking about the one thing that we don't like about the MCU right now is that the MCU
is garbage.
Is going, like, a lot of the stuff, it used to go somewhere. Like the end of Iron Man connected to something.
Yeah.
The end of, Ant-Man connected to
What
something.
do you mean they're doing that?
And it's like they're doing that, but they're just kind of being like, look. Yeah, they're doing it in a bad way. They're basically going, like, I think we talked about Harry Styles at the end of Eternals.
Yeah.
We're like, when are we going to see Harry Styles again? Eventually? Okay.
It'd be funny if he gets recast.
If this was,
like that character.
Oh my god, it would be funny.
Recast.
It gets recast with one of the other One Direction people.
Shoot, that was a really long time ago.
Yeah.
It was like
2021, but that was not that long ago, but
really?
it was like 2 years. It's 2 years.
Whoa, okay.
But like anyways, it's like those movies you would see them a year or two later.
Ironically,
So-
I liked Eternals.
Yeah. But anyways, where I think because of that, they're in that X-Men Fantastic Four realm where the movies are fun. I love X-Men, to preface. Love the X-Men movies. They're in that lull where it's like X-Men was odd because they were not great movies, but they were still fun. And I think that's where it is right now. And I think we just need to give it a little bit of tweaking, and maybe, hopefully, maybe even, what I'm saying is they just delayed a lot of stuff. So I think maybe with the delay,
They're going to get their act
they're
together.
going to get their act together. They're going to go, oh, shit.
Well, I think if they listen to criticism at all, they would understand that, like, we need to take our time here, slow down,
Yeah.
take our time, make actual good stories with, like, you know, an emotional core to them, and not just some lame, here's some random villain.
Yeah.
I don't know
Well,
why
I will.
they've
the
been
reason-
villains have been trashed
Yeah, this- okay,
the entire MCU.
Here's just a quick pros and cons list for the Marvels, because I want to get into our next movie.
Yeah.
Quickly, is that the pros are the main three leads, great chemistry. They all have really good chemistry, even but even then, like Aman Vellani as Kamala Khan stand out, honestly.
Okay.
I've
I've heard that from other reviews too.
Yeah, she's honestly if you were to see this movie for one reason only, just go see it to see Aman Vellani,
Mm-hmm.
because she's amazing. Second pro is the runtime. In all honesty, I know a lot of people will be like, "That's a weird pro."
Yeah, it's kind
It's
of
less than 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's less than 2 hours. It's fun. You know, it's like an hour 40, I think, hour 50. Yeah, it's an hour 45.
Yeah.
So like, you know, you're getting a fun little side story. Number 2, or the third pro that I have, is that it.
You have to think about it.
I'm trying to put it into.
Wow, you're really selling
No,
it.
hold on. I'm trying to put it into like a phrase that would work. It melds well for being a movie that it melds the MCU,
New MCU.
the new MCU. It melds the not having to see any of the MCU movies previous, but also some other stuff for the fans. The only thing is,
Okay.
like, you might need to have seen Miss Marvel,
Okay.
but
I-
at the same time, it's like you don't need to see Miss Marvel because you still get what is going on.
Yeah, that's also a weird thing because,
So-
like, Miss Marvel, like, they made that into like a little series instead of
Yeah.
a show, or I mean, instead of a movie.
Yeah.
And it's
so
like, why not just give her a movie?
so it balances its like needing to have callbacks to past MCU projects and then just being its own kind of thing.
Well, I feel like
it balances it well.
there's at least, I bet you there's quite a few people at the end, and like Beast shows up, and like people are like, who is this blue thing?
Yeah, yeah.
What is
If you just are living under a rock and don't see any Marvel movies, I wonder what you think that post credit scene or mid credit scene is. But oh yeah, you just spoiled that it was. I didn't even say the name, so you
Well,
spoiled it. Haha.
Whatever.
But yeah. But I'm excited for the X-Men stuff. Honestly,
Wait, you didn't say the cons.
I'm saying what
Oh,
I'm
okay,
just saying.
I'm sorry.
Another thing, because you brought up Beast. I'm excited for the X-Men stuff. I'm not.
Like, Deadpool 3 is gonna
Deadpool-
have Hugh Jackman in it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes, but I just don't want them to fuck up the X-Men because I love the X-Men. X-Men are my favorite my favorite Marvel characters. I love the X-Men movies, even the bad ones. So it's I just don't want them to harm the X-Men.
The thing that sucks
But-
about the X-Men is, like, they've done every major X-Men plotline already, and like
Some of them
kinda
they've done
butchered
it
them.
twice, but
yeah, like
I don't. Well, no, they've done the big X-Men ones, but I think there's a lot of smaller arcs that they could do that could work a lot better.
Hmm.
But anyways, the cons to this movie. The pacing, a lot, or I shouldn't say the pacing. There was like a little lull at the kind of the Act 2 to Act 3 lull, kind of where a lot of it hits. And then it's kind of a lackluster part, or Act 3. That's one big con that you have with it. I think my sister put it perfectly, because I went and saw this with my sister, who was a big fan of WandaVision, so she was like, she wanted to see that. She said it's odd because the first fight sequence was more exciting than the last one. And
that's not a good sign.
And I was like, she's kind of right.
Yeah.
But that's like the thing is like that last act is kind of a little sluggish, and that's why I kind of say the pacing's off. Is that the first two work in my opinion. Third act is just kind of like lull. And then the other big con is that you kind of have a boring villain. This is no stab
Why
at
can't the MCU
Zwe
get this
Ashton,
right?
who plays the villain, but she is not.
You can only do
interesting.
with what you're given in terms
Yeah.
of like a script. But man,
So-
I don't know why they've been so bad about villains the entire time.
Yeah.
I don't get why they don't, like developing an interesting villain does so much for your story, and I don't know why they have avoided doing that the entire 30 movies.
Mhm.
Like Thanos was the only one that was like remotely interesting. So at least they got that right, but
Mhm.
man, a lot of wasted potential with these movies is what I'm seeing. Like,
yeah.
even if you go back to the
like
first
I said,
couple of
like
movies.
I said, it's you kind of it. Not to say like the villain would be like help it, but I think honestly you watch it. For me personally, best part of it is that the three main leads work well together. So it's like it kind of doesn't really matter if the villain's kind of boring. You kind of are just there for the three main leads.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, yeah, go see the Marvels if you want to see it.
So
But
my takeaway is that you've half sold me on it. I'm like,
okay,
I'm a cool 50%, just like
that's where I'm
was,
sitting.
just like I was before.
I'm sitting at like a nice lukewarm 55 to 56%, just so it's over a little over half. But
wow,
a movie that
100%.
that it sounds
It's up
like
there. Five Nights at Freddy's.
You think it's 100%?
No, but I
Yeah.
will say that. Okay, my
Yes.
main
Our
take.
next. Hold on. Let's talk. I gotta do a little bit of
the
the
first
intro
20
for.
minutes were so good.
I know, but let me do a little bit of the
I
intro
just wanna
for.
talk about it.
You just want to like get through these. You want these episodes to be like
No, I don't.
10 minutes of you just going
I would do this
good,
for like hours.
bad.
You have no idea.
But of course, the next movie that we'll be talking about is the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. This was released on October 27th. 5 nights before Halloween. I saw that on a TikTok.
Wait. 31 minus 27 is 4. Are you sure about that?
Well,
One,
if you
two,
go
3, 4.
night,
If you count the day it
If
came
you-
out and
yeah,
Halloween as okay. Well,
yeah,
yeah, but that's
yeah.
technically that's only 4 nights. That's only 4 nights.
Hey, it
4
did come.
nights at
Well, hold on.
Freddy's.
It came out a day before though for the preview screenings. If you saw it on the 26th,
Ah,
Or the 20
you got me there.
was it? Wait, when did this come out?
I like how most people don't realize
Whatever.
that most movies release technically one day before the day
Yeah.
it says on the poster.
I still get people say when
It's out today?
when we're at work. I still get people asking. So it says only in theaters on this day. Is it only that day it's in theaters? It's like no, you idiots.
Hey man, they're just reading English, okay?
But of course, this is the movie that is based on the very popular video game Five Nights at Freddy's.
everyone who's older than like
Yeah,
25 is like, "What?"
They
what do
don't
you mean
care.
it's popular?
Yeah, it's of course, it's based on a video game, so it is technically a video game movie. This is, I think, the third.
Conversation piece.
This is technically the third video game movie that came out this year.
Is it the best video game movie of all time?
No. No.
No.
This isn't even the best animatronic based movie of all time, because you know what that is?
Are you gonna say Willy's Wonderland?
Yeah, it's Willy's Wonderland.
Well, that was just a discount Five Nights at Freddy's.
But you know what? It's better than Five Nights
that
at Freddy in
got
my
away
opinion.
with it because they changed the name.
Yeah. So, anyways, of course.
Do you think that movie was like, we gotta test the water, see if a Five Nights at Freddy's movie would work?
Yes.
Let's get Nicolas Cage.
Yes. That was
The
completely
test run.
definitely. But
Willy's Wonderland.
Willy's Wonderland is
walked,
better.
So Five Nights at Freddy could run.
No, it's more like Willy's Wonderland ran and Five Nights at Freddy was walking behind it going, "Wait up, please."
So many people are mad now.
I don't care. Willy's Wonderland is better than this.
I've never seen Willy's Wonderland.
I
I'll have
will-
to compare it to Five
Do you
Nights at
want my
Freddy's.
Blu-ray? I will give it to you to watch.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
But of course,
My PlayStation has that problem where it keeps ejecting discs though, like in the
like
middle.
halfway through movie.
Well, I don't know. It didn't do it during our Mission Impossible week. So, but like I'll be playing a video game and it just spits the disc out, and I'm like, oh, thanks.
Look at that. But yeah, this was. No, it was released on October 26th. I messed up.
Okay.
So it was
Okay.
five nights. So yeah, this of course was also released on streaming on Peacock, which you watched it. That's how you saw it.
Yes,
I
my
watched
account,
it in theaters.
My account that was mine. It has my name on it.
The one that I pay for.
Yeah,
It
the
was
one
mine.
I pay for.
Shut up.
Totally.
You took my Peacock
For legal
account.
reasons.
You took my Peacock.
No, I didn't. Lies.
But the main thing is that I wanted to ask you, because I saw it in the theater. You
Okay.
saw it at home.
Yeah,
I
you saw
wanna
it with other people.
I saw it
around.
with a
How
lot of
annoying was that?
Not really.
No one started clapping randomly.
Oh yeah, people were clapping. It was more so. To get into my main takeaway for this movie that I just want to preface before I start spitting out random bullshit about the movie is that in like 10 years, I could see this becoming like a big cult movie.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
First of all, it's already a cult movie. These people are in a cult.
I mean, the video game series is kind of like.
I think this is definitely a flash in the pan type thing. Like it's. Well, they're probably gonna make a sequel. So
well,
there's
yeah,
that.
they've so far have made $227 million
Yeah, so it's
on
gonna
a
be
budget of $20 million.
It's gonna be like a 5-movie
So,
series.
yeah.
Probably.
But I could see it being a cult movie, and that's how I kind of looked at it with being in the theater, is that I heard a lot of kids going, horror, 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 horror. Like, I heard a
Okay.
bunch of that. I heard, was that the bite of 87? I heard a bunch of those, and that to me is very reminiscent of, like, midnight showings of Rocky Horror Picture Show and The Room. Like, all you really need is to just, like,
I feel like those aren't I don't think they're the same thing. I really don't.
I could see, but what I'm getting at is when I saw it in the theater and I heard all that, I was kind of like, huh, this could potentially lead to something like that.
Mm.
So I'm saying this in all, I like Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's better than this movie.
You don't say.
But this movie, I could see it having a cult. I could see it having
Oh,
a cult
well.
following. I could see it.
I could
you
see
know,
it have a cult following. But
I could
that
see it.
doesn't mean anything.
I could see it being like a midnight movie in like 5 years.
First of all, it's not even scary.
It's not, but it's dumb. It's fun.
I feel like even little kids wouldn't think it's scary.
Yeah,
like-
no.
What is this, PG? I mean, come on,
I think
guys.
it's PG-13, but
Come on, they could have made it scarier. I mean, I can't think of it. I mean, animatronic, evil spirit possessed thing should be a little bit scarier. You know?
yeah.
I didn't really feel scared at any point. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a little disappointing, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Is it because? Well, should ask. Do you think it's not scary because of the plot?
The plot doesn't
in the
help.
story because it does not help at all.
I will say, like I said,
This movie's been out for. I thought you were gonna ask if you can spoil it. I'm like, this movie's been out for like 3 weeks.
The first 20 minutes I think are really solid, actually.
Okay.
And so they introduce Peter Mellark as Mike.
Do you think
Josh Hutcherson's his real name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but no one
Did
knows.
you think his actual name was Pete?
No,
I knew you.
No,
but like,
I know that's the character from the Hunger Games. I'm not stupid, but like no one's gonna know his real name. He's just Peter Mellark. Okay, he's Peter.
okay, sure.
That's what everyone knows him as.
Sure.
He's in the movie. He is Mike. Now he's not a
He's
very
Mike Schmidt. That's
Okay.
a reference.
yeah.
Did you
it's
know
from,
that?
Is it from the game?
It's from the first game.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I watched Matt Pat's hour-long lore video.
Okay. Point is, he's not like a very not a wide range of emotion kind of, but like that's okay because I get where the first 20 minutes introduces his character and you kind of see where he's coming from. You know,
Yeah.
he's not doing super well financially, can't hold down a job. He has
Well,
PTSD
he also has he has PTSD
from his-
and trauma.
his little brother being kidnapped as a child.
Mm-hmm.
Totally natural, makes sense. The whole deal where like he tries to remember his dream over and over so he can, gain some insight into what happened to his brother.
I thought that was so.
I think when it's first introduced at the very beginning of the movie, totally fine. I really like
They overuse it though.
They overuse it. Yes, I 100% agree. They went back to it like 5 or 6 times, and really they should have kept it to like maybe twice.
Yeah, I think maybe 3 times.
Even
Once-
3 is pushing it. Just
Once in the beginning, once in the middle,
yeah,
once at the end.
yeah, something like that.
But they use it so often.
I do like the transition. Like he looks at the poster on his ceiling of first of all Nebraska, and it's like pine trees.
Yeah.
I think that's cool because when you think of Nebraska, you don't think of trees, right?
I thought you were gonna say like
And-
fuck Nebraska or something.
No, I just like it because it's weird. And then like he's dreaming, and then like the trees start swaying, and like you go into it. It's like that was a cool transition. Okay. I thought that was kind of cool.
All right.
It was
To
more
each his own.
artsy than I expected from a Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Fair.
It was kind of immersive in that way. And I totally got where he was coming from. He's kind of tough on his luck. He has to take care of his little sister or whatever. And his mom is like, or was it
It's
his
his
mom?
aunt.
His aunt, whatever,
Yeah.
is kind of like evil. So he doesn't
Yeah.
want her to have custody. I get that. It just worked for me. It was very simple. And I felt like the pacing was really good to start. I was like,
You're
okay,
still talking about the 20 minutes. First 20 minutes.
yeah, 20
Okay.
minutes, like half hour, whatever.
Yeah.
The beginning of the movie is solid. You're introduced to Mike, and you get where he's coming from.
Mhm.
You get all you need, and
The
it's
worst-
very simple.
I hate to say it, but I think you're kind of swaying. I'm like trying to remember like the first 20 minutes. I remember sitting in the theater going, "It's not that bad. It's
Yeah.
not horrible."
Like, there's nothing.
as soon as he gets to Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria,
That's where it
it's
goes
when it goes
downhill.
downhill. So it's like the namesake of the movie is where it goes downhill.
Yes.
So, yeah, no, I like the Mike character, or I shouldn't say I like him. He's fine. He's fine as a character. It's an interesting, like, his brother was kidnapped, so, blah, blah, blah.
Some might say like he's too reserved or something.
Yeah.
But like, I think, I don't know if it's a weird take, but like being like a more reserved actor, I think sometimes just works. I don't need
Mhm.
like an over emotive
yeah.
performance, especially in a movie like this.
The
It's-
FNAF movie does not need.
you know,
You're not
like-
winning an Oscar.
Yeah, you're not winning an
The
Oscar.
FNAF
I don't need like an
movie.
over emotional performance
Yeah.
or something. I think he did fine. I think Josh Hutcherson
He did fine. The Abby character, I just
Kid
did not
actor.
like. She was fine as a kid actor, but I just didn't like the character. I thought it was kind of annoying. It also leads to the dumbest scene in the entire movie.
Yeah, like the drawings are like totally relevant. It's like, okay.
Yeah, all right.
I've seen that in other scary
Well,
films.
the whole
first of all.
I remember seeing or this
Isn't
is,
that from The Ring? Like the
What?
drawings
I don't
are
remember.
important. Like,
I know
oh,
it's like
the
important
thing.
in Stranger Things.
Yeah, they do that
They
in
do in
Stranger
Stranger
Things.
Things.
Like they're coloring, and it's like, oh, that's like the demon thing.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, no, like Abby's the actress is fine. Didn't like the character mainly because of the way they use her. Vanessa, character Vanessa, just boring.
Well, they changed the lore.
All right, you want to explain in an hour the
They
whole lore?
changed well, okay, this is a secondhand account. I didn't play the game or
Yeah, I've played. I think I stopped at. I remember having them on my phone, and I'd only play like till night 2, and then reset.
Well, okay. First of all, I think the game is like based around jump scares, right?
Yeah, it's just jump
There's
scares.
no jump scares, man.
There is. Just dumb ones.
Really weak ones.
Yeah.
A jump scare, I think, would have been justified in this movie, and they didn't use that.
Yeah.
The one time they would have been okay with one, and they didn't do that.
Well, but it also goes into the story. It's like, when would they have done it?
At any point. So, like, that kind of, okay.
Because, like, it's supposed to, like, the jump scares in the game are supposed to kill you. But it's like, the only time they could have done it was when the whole
That's the game over
burglary
screen.
Yeah, the whole burglary happens, and even then it's like
You
they
struggled
don't do
to
it.
say burglary.
I did, but anyways,
The whole point, the plot point of the burglary, is that even a word? Is that the word?
Burglary?
Burglar?
Yes,
When
it's
the
a word.
When the burger happens,
Oh my God.
the burglary happens.
Yes.
That whole plot contrivance of it being like the babysitter and like set up by the aunt.
It led to the Matt Pat cameo, though.
Yes, it did lead to the Matt Pat cameo and the line of the movie. Are you being paid by the word? Like, and it's like, well, yes, he is. That's Matt Pat. He is being paid by the word.
That's
to be
just
here.
a theory.
Yeah,
He said it.
he said the thing. Stupid cameo,
Yeah.
but. And of course, Markiplier couldn't be there because he was too
Actually,
busy
did you
making
hear-
some other movie.
Did you
right?
hear what his role was supposed to be?
No,
He was supposed to be the guard in the first few minutes.
I would have enjoyed that because you
But this is the thing,
imagine
this is
him
the thing.
screaming like he does in his videos.
I would,
Ah!
I would have not liked it. I think that's kind of dumb.
Oh,
I would not have liked that as his cameo.
We didn't
but
even address the cold open. The cold open was weak. Not very
It was
scary.
weak, yeah.
You know. Oh, the former night guard died. Whoa, that's crazy.
Oh no. Yeah, but
Like.
yeah.
So the whole plot with the burglary is stupid, and like the way they die is stupid, and like really
that's
dumb.
where the bite of 87 jokes were coming in.
Also, that was like the worst CGI I've ever seen in that one part. Like all the ladies bitten in half, and their CGI shadow is on the wall. Like, oh my God, that
No.
was horrendously bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like whoever worked
It's
on
not-
that, I'm
that-
sorry,
that
not your
part-
best work.
That part was bad. But it was not as bad
Terrible.
as the fucking building a fort montage that they have in the middle of this movie.
That's very cringy.
That I hate it. I hate it. And people that say, "Oh well, they're kids, so like they would want to build a fuck you."
Aren't
Like,
the
no.
aren't the animatronics always hostile?
Yeah, they normally are in like the games.
Why would they change that?
Well, it's like probably for movie plot purposes, but anyways, it was like people that are saying, I feel like the people that are saying, "Oh, it's because they're kids," is just like, it's stupid too. And you're just trying to find some little
You're trying to hold on to the hope
Yeah.
that the what you just saw was worth your time.
exactly.
And
And it's not. It's the building montage is dumb. It's stupid. It stops the whole story in its heels for a minute, and then it doesn't even matter at the end. The only thing that
Yeah.
really matters is like, oh, she can communicate with them and they trust him. You already see that they trust her.
I was with
like-
Mike. I was like, I don't trust these things. Like,
Yeah, I was like, but like that entire sequence is dumb. It's stupid.
well,
I don't like it.
you know, they probably did put that in there for plot convenience type thing.
Maybe, but at the
whole
same time,
thing,
it makes
the whole thing. So they did.
you don't need that scene.
The lore for the game is way too complicated to make it a movie. That's probably the number one problem to begin with.
Yeah,
If you're trying to make a movie based
Oh,
on
yeah,
the Five
definitely.
Nights at Freddy's lore, it's a little too complicated to make into a movie, especially like a short, concise. What is it, 90-minute movie? Or
it's actually longer than the Marvels. It's an hour 49. So
okay, if but like, if you wanted to include all the lore, it would have been like 3 hours or
Yeah.
something, right? But
get a Babylon-size FNAF movie.
well, one way they simplified the lore is they made Vanessa be the daughter of the main bad guy?
Yeah,
that's
Afton.
not a thing in the game, right?
It's not, no.
Also, Vanessa, the entire movie clearly has more information than Mike does,
Mm-hmm.
and she doesn't divulge any of that information to Mike for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
Just to string along some kind of tension in the movie, because there wouldn't be any tension otherwise.
If she just said everything, this movie, it suffers from the
honestly, the entire plot point of the William Afton guy having been the guy who kidnapped his brother back in the day, that could have been resolved with Vanessa just talking to Mike outside, like not even in Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria at all, on the outside.
No, that like
if she just talked to him,
this is
the entire movie wouldn't happen.
This is the dumbest. The worst part about this movie is that the entire plot and the movie as a whole hinges itself on just one simple thing.
Vanessa not telling Mike anything, right? Is that what you're going to say?
Basically just nobody saying stuff.
Yeah.
For solely just being like, oh yeah, we need to have a big reveal that it's William Afton. It's like, I don't care, just find something better. This movie was just it also pains me to say this movie's bad, because I can see the amount of work that people put into this movie.
Okay.
With like the animatronics, and I want to talk about them quickly.
They looked okay.
I want to talk about the animatronics last.
Wasn't really
They're
entirely
puppeted.
CGI, right? Yeah.
They're all puppets.
It's pretty good.
And it's like, those are, I love the
song.
costumes.
The song that the band plays.
Oh my god,
it's
kind of a banger though.
Pretty good song.
It's not a good song. It's a banger.
Like,
but
is that
at
an
the same
original
time,
song for this
no,
movie?
it's not.
Ah,
But like,
it was too good to be an original.
Those
song.
kind of get annoying. But like, the puppets, they look great. Like Foxy, of course there's the meme video where it's like, Freddy doing the salute, and people are like, he's doing the Nazi salute or whatever.
What?
Yeah, there's like a video. I'll show it to you.
Did he have his like arm raised in a weird way? Okay.
Yeah. He's
Well,
like,
that's
the way the puppet moved was like, he couldn't like move his hand.
Right.
So he just, when he lifts his arm up, his hand is flat. So he doesn't lift it all the way up.
Okay.
So it's like on an angle, and it's like, Freddy. But like in that video, you can see at the beginning, like, Foxy's not a person. It's not a person in a suit. It's like an actual animatronic.
You know what that actually reminded me of?
It's like, that's really cool.
You know what that reminded me of? Foxy's foot like walking around, like a couple shots. It reminds me of Terminator, actually.
Okay.
Like the original Terminator, where it was kind of like stop motion, but like it might have been a little bit better. Like same sort of shot might have actually been better in Five Nights at Freddy's because it's not stop motion. It's like an actual thing on screen.
Yeah.
Like the foot walking around. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
Actually,
glowing red
that's not
eyes
the last- that's not
definitely
the last-
signifies they're evil.
That's not the last thing I want to talk about, by the way. Just finish your statement. I have one more thing.
Yeah, so besides that one part randomly reminding me of Terminator, I just wanted to say the whole, I know it's a thing from the games or whatever, but like the whole, the animatronic suit can kill the person inside, that is so stupid. Okay, like if you want the thing to like hug your body or whatever so you can move around like an animatronic, why would you make them so pointy and sharp? So they can stab in your
whole
ribcage?
like that's a whole lore thing.
It's a lore thing that's stupid.
It's a dumb lore thing. Don't get me wrong. But that brings in the last thing I want to talk
that's
about.
like, it's such an important thing to hinge
That's
your lore on. It's stupid.
It is. I've always when I watch the lore videos, I was like, why the fuck would you even want to do that?
It's like one of those things where it's like the internet like group wrote it and kind of ruined it.
Yeah.
It's like what they're doing with the backrooms and like the SCP stuff.
Oh my God. Don't even get me started on the backrooms.
The crowd writing. Oh man, people really dilute the product.
So you bring up one good point that I want to go, because we are, I think, almost an hour into this. The last thing I want to talk about is Freddy. Matthew Lillard is the best part of this movie.
He's in it for like 5 minutes.
He's in it for 5 minutes, but he is the best part of this movie. And this kind of also gives me the whole thing of like, even a like shit movie, just having Matthew Lillard in it, I still enjoy him on screen.
Well, even then, his first scene where he's giving Mike the job, it's like,
Yeah.
obviously he's either A, he knows about the evil animatronics, or B, he is the main bad guy. There's only two options there. Obviously, the way he's talking is like, yeah, that place sure is run down.
He's a little freaky.
Yeah, he's a sentimental guy. It's like, yeah, okay,
but
we
it's
get
you. We get it. It's
yeah,
you.
it could not be more obvious.
But even then, it's like, I still love his performance. Matthew Lillard is great. I still think that he just needs one indie movie to like show his dramatic chops.
I like Matthew Lillard.
Get him an Oscar. Get that man an Oscar. Not for Five Nights at Freddy's.
No way could they
No
offer
way.
anything for that movie.
But get him an Oscar. Should have won an Oscar.
I'll stand by
Shaggy,
Josh
honestly.
Hutcherson's performance, but the Vanessa character was annoying. The child was annoying.
Yep.
The
Matthew
other
Lillard's the best part.
the other goofball like bad guys are like
Dumb.
trying to smash up the. First of all, okay, here's another plot hole for you. Okay. So Mike is the night guard.
Yes.
Okay. The people want to burglarize the place he works at to make him look bad and make him lose his job. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they go in there in the daytime?
Because
he is the night guard. He doesn't guard during the day. He's the night guard. If you want to make him look bad, wouldn't it make more sense to burglarize and smash up the place when he's on duty? When he's actually there?
Well, no. Well, he has to lock the doors.
They wait until he leaves.
He has to lock the doors, and then they say...
They break in anyway. Right?
Well, I don't know. It's dumb. Don't get me wrong.
That is an incredibly huge plot hole.
Yeah. No, it's
because
dumb.
The next night he cleans up the place.
He does.
It's abandoned, so who cares if everything's smashed up?
If you like the part where he starts cleaning up the place, Willy's Wonderland's for you, bud. Willy Wonderland literally is just 90 minutes of Nicolas Cage cleaning, then fighting a robot, and then cleaning again.
Is it better than Pig, where 90% of the movie he's just got like a huge scar on his forehead and he doesn't clean it?
Yes. I will stand by Willy's Wonderland. But anyways, yeah, FNAF, honestly,
mid,
not even mid.
It's worse than mid.
It's not bad. It's bad. It's bad.
I will say this, the beginning is strong though. And it only goes downhill from there.
If you're a fan of the games, you'll probably like it.
I feel like the game is better.
But like, yeah, just stick with the games. So, but anyways, we're going from killer animatronics
to just a
killer,
just a guy,
just a single guy that kills,
who is scarier than any of the animatronics.
Honestly, he is. So the last of this big triple movie episode that we're talking. Yeah, we're finally at the new release that we both watched. This is it's streaming now on Netflix. It came out yesterday.
Could not recommend it more.
I could not
starting with that.
It is so good. It is David Fincher coming back after 2 years.
Give me a reminder. Who is this David Fincher?
David Fincher is the he's a little known director. I've
never heard of him. Explain him to me.
He's a little known director that should have won Best Picture and Best Director
and Best Man Alive.
And Best Man Alive.
I'm just kidding.
Wow. I mean,
that was an exaggeration.
Honestly, looking at his slate, I think you have at least some sort of a thing to go. He might be one of the best, like, not action, but very dark.
Whoa. Is he in that Spielberg echelon?
No.
Just hard no.
He's I think he might be the best, like, not, when I say dark crime, I don't mean like it's actually dark. It's like disturbing crime.
No, like
movie.
I can't see, the lights are off, dark.
Yeah. I think he definitely should be in the top, like, if we said top 50 movie directors of all time, he's definitely in there. But this is his first movie since Mank, which came out in 2020, which is completely different.
That's
than
like
this.
a character piece, right?
Yes. But he's back.
Like a real
With-
figure person.
Yes, it's a kind of a not biopic, but it's something like that. But he is back once again to make a neo-noir movie with Michael Fassbender in the lead role, and a kind of great
Michael
supporting cast.
Fassbender, of course, is
Magneto.
Well, he is Magneto, but I was gonna say he's playing his character from the Alien franchise again, a lifeless, soulless android.
Yeah. Jeez, I'm sorry, I keep kicking you, by the way.
You know what I'm talking about? The Alien movies?
No, yeah, I get it. I know his character from the Alien movies, but
Best part of those
yeah,
movies.
of course, we are talking about Netflix's The Killer. It's based on a French graphic novel, and this movie might be in my top 10. I think
top 10 what?
top 10 movies of 2023. I think it might sit
easily.
at like, I want to say I think
You want to hear my rankings?
of the top. Yeah, actually, if you're saying that it is, let me hear your rankings first, and then we'll get into it.
So I'd probably put like I would put like Oppenheimer number 1. Number 2, probably Killers of the Flower Moon, and then I'd put The Killer number 3.
Wow.
Pretty much.
Okay.
I can't think of anything else I enjoyed more than those 3. You know, it is like to put The Killer
not to call
like
not
at
to
4
call
or
you
5,
out.
you know? I don't remember anything else.
I'm gonna go to our top 5 films of 2023 so far.
And I
that we
wasn't
covered
even
on the first-
anticipating this one.
On the first episode.
The creator turned out to be a real dud for me.
Yeah. So you had Guardians Volume 3, Mario, Spider-Verse, Dungeons and Dragons, and John Wick 4.
Okay, I did forget about Spider-Verse. But I think I'd still put The Killer at, like, I'd put Spider-Verse at, like, 4.
Okay. And then The Killer's at 3? Or The Killer at 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm going to I would say I put this at like a 6, but it might move up. I want to watch it again. A lot of the movies I've seen so far this year, it's not like I've said I don't really want to watch again.
The Fincher style by itself.
But this, I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if I turned it on literally tonight.
I
again.
recommended it to my dad.
I did too.
I
did too.
I immediately told him, like, this movie was awesome.
It's so good.
And he said he's really tired of, like, just crime movies. He's seen a lot of crime movies.
Mhm.
Like, why is every movie about people killing each other? You know, like, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
that it's, but like, it's interesting though. Hello,
This one is. No, I want
it's the intrigue. The intrigue is there. Why does he do the things that he does? You know.
Yeah. And I think, to get into this, first I want to start off with the story.
Yeah.
Solely. Because this reminds me so much of like 60s crime movies, but with the setting and style of like a 2020, or should say the darkness that is allowed in a 2023 movie.
What about it made you think 60s crime movie?
So there's a lot of 60s and 70s where it's like the crime movies were this guy is doing a job.
Okay.
He's on a mission, and it's more of a job than it is like he's not like doing crime because he needs to get revenge, or he kind of is doing that to get revenge, but
Not at first.
Not at first, but at like a lot of it was like to compare it to like something like John Wick. John Wick is very stylized.
That's
it's
funny.
very,
when I told the plot of the movie to my dad, he was like, "Oh, so like John Wick?"
it's
but I was
not,
like,
though. It's
"Not exactly."
no, it's the darkness. I think that adds to it. It's like It's
Dang,
where John
actually,
Wick is like
if you think about it, it actually is pretty similar to John Wick.
it's similar, but at the same time,
Hitman's loved one is messed with, and he goes on a revenge quest.
here's what I'm gonna say.
You can't deny that. That's pretty.
I'm
similar.
not denying it. I'm just saying. Let me explain.
Even has buried weapons that he digs up. Oh no! It is the same movie.
Let me explain. Let me explain why I think John Wick.
It's like if Fincher did John Wick.
Okay, I'll give you that. But at the same time, this is my I should say this is the thing that I'll say that it's not so much John Wick, and why I want to get away from the comparison of
They're
John
even
Wick.
in Paris.
Stop saying stop. Let me
oh
get
my god,
I'm
it's
getting
the
my
same
headspace.
movie.
I'm getting in my headspace. Give me a minute.
I hate when I realize things are just the same.
So the reason why I say John Wick, this is nothing like, besides, I hate that you put that in my mind, because I was gonna say besides the story,
They're both based on graphic novels too.
John Wick's not on a graphic novel, I don't think. Fuck is it? Hold on. Hold on.
I'm sure it is one now, like after
no.
the fact for sure.
Please don't tell me that. No, please.
No, I think John Wick was like a movie first before anything else.
John Wick was. Please don't tell me it's based on off anything. It's not.
Yeah, well, I'm
Thank
sure there's
God.
graphic novels of it now.
Definitely,
After
but
the fact.
So anyways, for I was so rudely interrupted about John Wick.
Sorry.
The reason why I think that this is kind of feels like the 60s and the 60 crime movies, especially like the one that I think we were talking about it off mic, is there's a movie called Les Samurais, directed by.
Have you seen that?
I have seen it.
Oh.
It's directed by Jean-Pierre Melville. It's a 67 French new wave crime film. And it's pretty much The Killer if it was made in the 60s.
I can,
And it's
I didn't get what you were saying at first, but I think I get it now.
yeah,
a
it's
little bit.
it's the
whole the new wave thing. I'm not a film student like you are, but I'm familiar enough with that kind of thing where I know where you're coming from.
Yeah. And well, cuz like I also look at it and it's like he's very smart. He knows what to do. And there's some really good crime sequences from the 60s that it reminds me of. I just recently watched. I was not a fan of it. I wasn't like a huge fan of it. I enjoyed it, but like the smart kind of gave me the
What?
the smart like him being smart and everything gave me like
I thought you were talking about Get Smart for a second, starring
I
Steve
get
Carell.
smart. No, actually, you know what? That'd be an odd choice to be like, yeah, actually, I could see. What if David Fincher came out and was like, yeah, The Killer, it's
Big
inspired by
inspiration.
Les Samurai.
Get Smart.
Get Smart. Get Smart. Some other goofy crime movies. Pink Panther.
Year One. Which is also on Netflix right now.
But anyways, it reminded me of like the Thomas Crown Affair, how that dude is like, it's very meticulously planned, and it gave me that vibe as well. Not so much of like the
Actually, hot take. You know why? The Killer really not that good. They didn't play the song "Psycho Killer" anywhere in the film.
Shut up. They did play a lot of the Smiths though.
But after this movie, I'm definitely inspired to listen to the Smiths because I like every song that they used from the Smiths was, oh my god, this rules.
The Smiths are a great band.
It's like
it was a great, great choice for that.
And then I had a secondary thought. I'm like, if I like the Smiths, am I a psychopath? Am I a psycho
It really
killer?
calls out a lot of people, but I also really like that. The entire time, and this is a little bit of a spoiler for the ending. He finishes everything, and I'm like, wow, they talk about the Smiths so much, but they don't. They don't play the one that everyone knows, which is the "If a double-decker bus crashes it."
Oh, but then they did at the very end.
Yeah, it's called. I couldn't remember the song name, but it's "There's a Light That Never Goes Out."
Yeah,
and I'm like, they didn't play that movie. They didn't play that. What the heck? Why haven't they played it? And then it cuts to credits and it starts playing. I'm like, no. I was like, yeah, you did it.
Yes.
But anyways,
Well, speaking of the music, the original soundtrack was very good too. Like
yes,
the
Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
yes, Trent Reznor. Everything he works on is like good.
Just great.
I love it.
Even the TMNT movie that we covered earlier.
Yeah, actually, yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
So, but like,
Wow,
but no, just the style.
Is that the last movie you did before The Killer? You went from TMNT to The Killer. That's pretty cool.
Hold
like
on.
completely different vibes there. To like work on music for.
Do you think he gave the dumb little naming schemes that he did for
The Killer as well?
Yeah, because like
That'd
one of
be
my
sick.
favorite ones for TMNT is like "Dipshits on a Roof" or something.
Yeah.
It's one of the track titles. It looks like oh my gosh, where's this? Where
I
the heck is this?
like when soundtracks have like very on the nose titles for like what's happening in that scene. Like
yeah.
if there should be a track for The Killer called like "Miss the Mark" or something, you know,
Oh, they're.
something like that.
I feel like they have to.
Hans Zimmer does that a lot with his
Yeah.
soundtracks.
Oh my gosh, I can't find his. Oh, I just looked up Trent Reznor. That's why.
Yeah.
I need to look up them too. List of awards and nominations.
I really liked the track's original soundtrack sounds in this movie because
Yeah,
they're very intense.
they are.
It's like
I
some
mean-
kind of like electronic heartbeat thing, which totally fits the movie because he's got the heart monitor,
heart
on
monitor,
his,
yeah.
on his wrist the whole time.
But oh my gosh, I can't find these. Okay, here we go. Yes, it went straight from TMNT to The Killer.
That's so cool. That's
went
rad.
straight to it.
That is rad, dude.
So, but like quickly, because I haven't even gotten through my first point. The thing it gave me is like the globetrotting '60s crime, but with the David Fincher. Like, I'm just gonna make
Oh.
up the most fucked up thing you can think of into a reality in this
Yeah.
movie, and there is so many times that there is.
Mhm.
And I think like it was just so good, and it's definitely like
The words on screen with the arrows, like the airport style, definitely gave me "Catch Me If You Can" vibes, especially with the
Odd
segments
movie.
taking in different places in the world.
yeah, odd movie to compare to, but I can
Uh,
see what you're saying.
Yeah, like the airport text, you know?
David Fincher gets on one of those letterbox for like inspired by. He's like, so yeah, The Killer's actually inspired by Les Samurai.
Get smart,
Get
catch me
Smart,
if you can.
Catch Me If You Can, and let's throw like
Shrek. Just out of nowhere.
He's like,
oh,
I love
wow.
that movie. I love the talking donkey.
He's almost unhinged enough to say stuff like that. And like
he
I would
is.
believe
He
him 100%.
so is. It's so great. But anyways, so going also to the like the story and everything and like the pacing, I like clocked it each chapter. So this is split up into 5
Yeah,
chapters.
I think so.
Do you remember what the 5 chapters were called? Because I can only remember the first, like the last 3.
No.
Because I think it goes.
I can only remember the settings.
I think it's The Job. The Job. I know there's one that's
One's the client.
One's the lawyer, the
Yeah.
brute, the client. What's Tilda Swinton's one?
Don't know. The New York segment of the movie.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you. But yeah.
But yeah, no,
They were all very even.
yeah.
runtimes?
Well, like I looked and I'm like, this movie's 2 hours.
Yeah.
Each one was about 20 minutes,
Perfect.
and it's like so good. I can't. The pacing was perfect.
Yes.
Honestly, it didn't. And of course, like I will say, like there's one section, my one flaw, and of course I'm gonna get into. I think we can get into spoilers.
Oh yeah.
And now at this point, even though we really haven't said much about,
right.
but you kind of have to get into spoilers because it's a very uniform movie. Like
Mhm.
everything that happens leads to the next thing.
Yes.
So, the first thing that I want to say is, or the first like con that I had with this movie is that every single person he interacts with there's the setup sequence and then the meeting, and I think the lawyer sequence. It in Louisiana or New Orleans.
Oh yeah, New Orleans. Mm-hmm.
That one had just so weird. It was weird for me because the setup happens, then you meet the lawyer, and then we have a second meeting, or the lawyer played by Charles Parnell, and then you have the second meeting with
His receptionist.
with his receptionist, yeah. And that, like, to me was like, oh, that's kind of odd. That was like my only flaw of the movie that I could really think of.
What are you even saying? Like,
well, like, okay, so
not to.
what I'm saying is,
what
like,
are you getting at?
each chapter is broken up into like two main sections.
Yeah, that part kind of had two parts.
Yeah, that part had like three sections, but one of the meat section was split into two.
Okay,
and that's like my only flaw is also because like they kind of wasted Charles Parnell a little bit, in my opinion. Like he has a good screen presence.
He has a good screen presence. Screen very long. He's a good actor, man.
But like he could have easily been in it more, I think.
Well, he's the voice on the phone that he's talking to a couple times.
Yeah, but I feel like I'd want him more in it.
I mean, sure.
But anyways, but I think like the pacing though is amazing in it. I could see
someone feeling like watching the first segment where it's mostly him narrating and he's just kind of chilling in that one room, being too slow. But I think those people are lame because you got like if you're gonna dial into a story, you got to listen to what he's saying.
Yeah.
Because the very beginning is like, okay, what flavor psychopath is this guy, right?
One that talks about it was
very random things.
Yeah, McDonald's.
No.
Talks
like,
about
no, but like he's talking about like his whole process and everything. He's saying how like, it's
definitely inside the mind of
like
the killer.
McDonald's is the perfect place for a hitman to get food because you can get a little protein and it's very under the radar because millions of people go to McDonald's. Who's gonna notice this dude just getting some chicken nuggets, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, that makes sense.
Well, I also love that you can see him taking off the bread, which would be the carbs and which would like add to him.
Yeah, no,
it's
he's,
like,
he's
oh,
lean.
he's got to keep lean. He's eating like eggs and like the ham and stuff.
It's interesting because his whole first of all, Michael Fassbender, incredible performance.
I want to talk about his performance here.
Let me just,
in a second.
Yeah, so like you're getting to like what flavor psychopath he is. It's interesting because he is like he's setting up the job. He's like, this is my process or whatever. Like, do not have any empathy. Like he has to tell himself that. It feels like it's in his inner monologue or whatever. He's like, don't have empathy. Like, don't trust people at any point. Like no second chances type of thing. And like he goes through this process. He listens to music to calm himself down. The Smiths. Great choice of music.
That is the most ironic thing in this entire movie that I love. Is that he's like, I use music to calm myself down.
It's interesting because like he's a killer and he's supposed to be like totally unfeeling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some like an entity more than a person or something, right? But the way he brings up these random statistics and all his logical reasoning, it's like this guy is not only is he smart, but it's like he's not totally out of tune with like feeling like maybe he's like pretending or like to act like a normal person or something. But like to me, it kind of felt like, especially with the whole thing later in the movie, his revenge plot. It's like. He's not like a total unfeeling sociopath. There's things he cares about.
Yeah.
So like he has to tell himself to not have empathy. Like he has like it's part of his routine. Like it's weird because it's like because every other time you have like a killer hitman on screen where you're told like they're unfeeling or whatever. They're kind of like I don't know. I feel like there's some nuance in there where it's like. He has some feeling like he is a person. Like,
oh yeah, well, like even at the end of the movie, it doesn't seem like it's empathy, but like it it kind of almost, it feels like to me for like the
Oh, it's definitely
subtextual-
not. It's not empathy, but it's like a calculated
Yeah,
thing.
like the subtext is almost like or like some people might come out and be like, oh, he left him alone because he didn't know anything.
Yeah.
But it's like the subtext of it is like, oh, he's giving him a second chance
yeah.
because he didn't know what was going on.
Right.
And it's like, is that empathy or is that him basically telling him?
Well, another
You know,
thing.
and it goes into the secrecy of this character that I love, honestly. And like that's why I kind of also got that 60s vibe, is because there's a lot of those movies, a lot of those crime noir movies where it's like the guy, you don't know who he is. You just know he's a guy and he's done some things that he's, you know, to get to where he is.
Yeah, and then also like the taxi driver, he kills him, but it was like that was like a moment of anger for him. You could tell.
Yeah.
Like emotion. And like psychopaths are not supposed to have emotions, right? I guess the only one that they typically have is like anger.
Well,
but I don't know.
Even then, like I think he shows even a little bit of emotion killing the secretary. Because like she asks him to kill her.
Make it look like an accident.
And makes it look like an accident. He's like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
It's like he could have easily just gone.
No, you don't even
it's
get
like,
that.
Yeah.
Right?
But he's like, all right, fine, I feel it. I understand.
You helped me find the people.
Yeah. So, but like,
I mean, it's, you know, it's weird to say that because he kills like 7 people in this movie.
Yeah.
But it's like,
well, and actually,
his
that
whole
brings up
revenge
another point.
plot is his whole revenge part of the thing is because they go in there and rough up his girl.
Yeah. Yeah, and exactly.
So it's like, oh, he cares about someone?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well, that also kind of goes into like the pacing of it as well. It's like this movie, it feels, you brought up like you hear his narration. It's like I'm inside the mind of a killer.
I got dialed in so fast in this movie.
Well, the thing is that like I had to rewind the opening credit sequence because
See,
I was so taken back on how fast it just kind of comes on.
a lesser depiction of a quote unquote psychopath killer type would be like, I don't know, that Jeffrey Dahmer thing, and then they literally play Psycho Killer, and it's like, we get it.
Wait, do they play Psycho Killer in the Dahmer show?
Well, maybe they don't. I think there was a movie that might have about him or someone
Oh
similar.
yeah, My Friend Dahmer. I do remember that. Yes,
I don't know if that's in the movie.
I know it's the trailer music. I do remember.
Yeah, so
that.
they use it in the trailer, obvious. And there's enough edits of that where it's like on, you know, I don't know.
So yeah, that. Oh, I'm glad they didn't use Psycho Killer in this, honestly. But I will add, you brought up the point of like he kills people. And this kind of made me think of something that kind of goes in with the pacing, is that the violence is very, very small, in all honesty.
He blows a dude's head
Hold
off.
on.
What do you mean?
What I mean by that is, if you look at the movie,
He's efficient.
There's not much violence.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's
You're losing me. What do you mean? There's an entire fight sequence that's like 7 minutes.
But that's like the only thing. That's the
That was
most
pretty
you get out of the fight. That's the most you
It's
get
not
out of
even that
him.
violent.
Oh my god.
I don't know what you're getting
Most of the movie, out of the entire runtime.
It's more about his process or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess.
If you look at like an action movie, majority of the people would be like, "Oh, we're gonna have, you know, this huge violent action set piece every 20 minutes."
Mm-hmm.
Here, you get a hand-to-hand combat fist fight where he's being very intelligent, where he pulls out like the cheese grater and throws it across the.
The old diversion tactic. Someone played the Last of Us video game.
Yeah. Throws a brick over there. And then, but like all the violence is very quick, and not really doesn't take long.
The whole brute sequence with the big guy.
The whole brute sequence is the most violent.
Reminded me of
like,
Blade Runner 2049 with Batista.
Oh yeah, actually that's a good comparison, honestly.
The thud of the floor and stuff.
Oof. When he's
punching through walls and shit.
When he kicks him onto the table.
Yeah.
And you hear the and he's like, oh.
Ugh.
It's like, ooh. Hey.
I couldn't tell what part of him was impaled on. That,
I thought it was right up the asshole. I thought it was. I genuinely was like, did David Fincher just like impale a dude on his?
And you were saying it wasn't violent. What are you talking about?
What I'm getting at is that there's not a lot of violence in this movie, meaning that he holds a gun on the like taxi driver, but literally the taxi driver's kill is like from the time he shoots him to the time the next scene happens is like, I don't know, 20 seconds. And then
that's a long time to linger
like
on someone's
30
brain
seconds.
splatter.
Well,
on
no,
the windshield.
like not. I shouldn't say. It's like a minute, but of that minute, like 50 seconds of it is just him walking away. They're very quick and it's very efficient, and I think that's really, really good about this pacing.
You buy into him being a professional.
Yes, exactly.
For sure.
Well, like the Charles Parnell scene, the lawyer scene, where he just goes, he's threatening the guy, but then all of a sudden it's just like it's within a blink of the eye. You just hear boom, 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 and you see him like
he killed him with a staple gun.
A nail gun, but
or yeah, no,
no, it's a nail gun.
Nail gun.
It was a nail
staple.
gun. It was a
Okay.
nail. He
Same,
said like
basically
like
same
6-inch
thing.
nails. He's like healthy male, 50.
He should last like he dies.
He dies. Yeah.
Like,
He's like,
and he's like, man.
Miscalculation or something like that.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm getting at. Is like the violence when it happens, it's very quick.
This movie does a lot because the whole like every time he's about to do a killing, he's like stick to the plan.
Stick to the plan.
Right. But at the beginning, he's saying how he's accepted that there's no afterlife or like heaven or hell or anything. It's just an endless void and like nothing matters. And it's like, you know, stick to the plan. Nothing goes to plan. You know, there's like a thread in there, like fate or something. Kind of grasping for like the right words to say, but you know what I mean. Like there's a thread. There's like a through line through everything.
Yeah.
Like
no, I get it. It's not fate. It's just he's like, this is, you know, cause and effect.
Like everything is chaos.
Yeah.
Is pretty like that. That's his whole worldview.
Everything is chaos, but if you have chaos, chaos will. If
like
you cause chaos, chaos will come to you.
He's somehow also controlling the chaos because he always comes out on top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he wins.
But even then, his opening scene, he does not do anything. He doesn't win.
Yeah, he messes up the job. That's the entire reason the entire movie happens.
So like
he shoots the woman instead.
Yeah.
By accident. Well, she shouldn't have jumped in front at that moment. That was her fault.
Yeah. But I think this is a very and it's very beautiful to look at too, which is odd.
It's got that
Fincher
style.
A lot of the
shot is great.
Yeah, shot composition is amazing. I still think of the shot where he's like looking. I think he's looking at the cabs in the Dominican Republic.
Ooh,
and it's like literally like
when he's on the prowl,
1/4 of his head's in the screen, but it just focuses on him. It's like, ooh.
That one shot where it was like one airplane and then it transitioned to a different airplane landing at the airport and then his car pulls up. I was like, damn, what is this?
Yeah.
What is this, Spielberg-esque camera
It's Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. A little bit. It was cool, though.
Yeah, you know, the 4 films that inspired this movie.
Yeah, of course. As noted by Fincher himself.
Yeah, you know.
Isn't that right, David?
Yeah, he's giving a thumbs up right now.
Yeah, okay.
He's doing the Letterboxd interview right now. Actually,
yeah,
he's gonna be
conducted by us. Actually.
Yeah. What's your 4 films that? I still can't get over that. You put Sorek in there.
That was the only. I don't know. That was the funniest thing I can think of at the time.
But I do want. I said I want to talk about Michael Fassbender.
Yeah. What in particular, friend?
I think he's perfect casting in this, and I hate to say it, but I don't think not to say that I hate to say it, but I think this performance is going to be overlooked.
Oh,
it's going to be overlooked during award season, and I'm like, fuck.
Dude, it's crazy because like he has like a commanding physical presence.
Yeah.
Everywhere, but like also he has like a soft voice too. His voice is not threatening at all.
It really isn't. But not to bring up the Oscar race once again. But I was like, after that, I'm like, I would love to see Michael Fassbender get nominated for Best Actor in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like looking at, so I pull up Variety because I use Variety a lot
Yeah.
on their predictions. This is who they have in the top 5.
Okay.
They have Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, Leonardo DiCaprio for Killers of the Flower Moon, and Coleman Domingo for Rustin. That's their like predicted nominees.
Sounds like some good competition.
It's yes.
for
like,
sure.
Personally, I'd get Leo out of there and maybe move one of the guys that are next in line up. But like next in line is he's not there. Michael Fassbender is not even there.
Mm-hmm.
Other top tier possibilities. This is 10 other possibilities.
Do they list him there?
Nope. They have names like Joaquin Phoenix for
I
Napoleon. They have Zac Efron for The Iron Claw.
Yeah,
Nicolas Cage for Dream Scenario.
Yeah, you can't say that like, oh, well, they haven't seen the movie yet because like they have Joaquin on there for Napoleon.
Exactly.
Already, so
they have Paul Dano for Dumb Money at number 20.
Yeah.
Michael Fassbender is number 30 out of 30 for The Killer.
That's a shame because it's a really good performance.
It's such a good performance. And I think I like I said, I hate to say it, but I think that this movie's going to get overlooked at Oscars. And not to say like, oh, I hope that this was the movie, or not to say like, oh, this should be the movie that David Fincher wins his Oscars for. Because that should have been The Social Network, in all honesty. But this movie is so, like, I wonder what they're predicting for cinematography actually, because like the cinematography is beautiful in this.
Coolest movie poster in a while too.
There's only 2.
I know,
and they look great.
They look cool.
And it's like watercolor, which is really interesting. But like if this movie was to only get, I think this movie is only gonna get 1 Oscar nomination. And I think that movie the Oscar is going to be for sound.
Okay. The sound is
the
good.
sound is
amazing.
Well,
I was going to say when he's on the prowl for like the green taxi,
yeah.
the music that's playing with like the thump,
Yeah.
thump,
Mm-hmm.
thump, like
well,
a
you can hear it
but
inside and then outside.
It's so cool because it sounds like a heartbeat, but like not like a heartbeat. It's like some kind of mechanical thing. You know what I mean?
It's at least or I should say for cinematography, it's at least a little bit better. I know we're talking about sound, but I looked up the cinematography predictions. Variety has it at number 14.
Okay.
So, but it still has it behind like Barbie. And
oh, come on.
Like, like it has better. Well, I looked at it and I'm like, I swear to God, because number 30 is Flaming Hot, the Flaming Hot Cheetos movie, and I'm like, I swear to God, if that's on here and not The Killer, what the fuck? But let me look up sound. But yeah, no,
movie felt very realistic too.
Yeah, and that's actually another thing that I wanted to kind of bring up is like, I know some people might have been taken out of it, but I love that they have. You see Hertz. He talks about McDonald's.
Yeah.
He's seen at you see him outside of Starbucks.
The nail gun he buys is Ryobi.
From Ace. It's from Ace Hardware. And it's like it not to say like
David Fincher just put out a guide on how to be a serial killer and no one noticed.
He did, didn't he?
Have many fake identities.
Yeah.
Many passport with fake identities.
Oh, and that's also leads to another like recurring thing that I love in the movie is that you don't know his name until they say Mr. Hernandez. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a recurring thing. Yeah. He has a different name every time.
It's like, oh, that's so cool.
Speaking of he buys like a fob thing off of Amazon to like fake
Okay,
like
it does.
a key
according
card?
to IndieWire, sorry, that's another thing for sound. It says that Killer is in the front running is one of the front runners for sound.
Should be,
but Oppenheimer is the early favorite.
Okay, Oppenheimer had great sound.
It had good sound too. So as you talk about this, I'm gonna look up
well,
director just quickly.
Did you not hear the last thing I said? I was like, he buys the thing off of Amazon
Yes,
to like
yeah.
copy the key card, and
Yeah.
it's like, dude, I can just do that.
Exactly. I was
It's
like,
like
wait, hold on.
after this movie, those things are gonna be like restricted access. Like government
Yeah.
needs all your information to buy one of these things. I mean, seriously.
No, it's crazy,
Like-
and that's the thing that I love is
And
that
the other part that I love about this is like to for example, to get inside the lawyer's building, he dresses up as like a recycle guy,
Yeah.
and like he literally just draws the recycle logo on like a thing and puts it in his like a pen protector, and he just is wearing like a green jumpsuit, and he has like the recycle logo on the trash can, and it gets him into the building like no one thinks anything of it.
it's so and
It's like it really is that easy.
the other thing that I love is that you can hear him, like when he's standing in front of the door.
Yeah.
You can hear him go 1, 2.
He counts how long
4.
the door
And he's
stays
like,
open
he's
for. Yeah.
waiting, and I remember watching. Does he count?
He follows
again?
the FedEx guy in,
Yeah.
so he doesn't need like.
And there's another
clearance.
thing. It's like that's like because that's what I think immerses it, because we get FedEx stuff to our jobs all the time.
What if there's just like?
And it's like, could someone that walks in behind a FedEx
Oh no,
driver
I'm gonna be scared now. There's gonna be some guy who's just dressed up as a FedEx guy, and he's just gonna come in and like murder me now.
What'd you do? Were you a part?
like? Well, you
Did
see.
you go to Dominican Republic and beat up?
No, you know what I mean, but like,
Should I be afraid?
no. But I'm just saying, like, it would be really easy, like, and then later in the movie to get in that fancy apartment building, the garage opens and he just walks in.
He just walks in, yeah.
Like the car is left and the door stays open for a second, so he's like, all right, guess I'll just waltz in here.
Yeah.
You know, he stakes out the place. Oh, and like earlier in the movie, he's like, okay, there's going to be cameras everywhere. Just look like you know where you're going. And like look confident as you're going there. And like people won't think anything of it.
Oh, I
most
love
of the
also
time.
that he's like, just kind of I dressed up.
I based my entire look off of German
German
tourists
tourists, yeah.
because French people don't want to talk to German tourists. And it's like, bet.
Sure.
And it gives them an excuse to wear that hat the entire movie.
I do love
Awesome
his stuff.
hat.
The costume in this is amazing, honestly, and it's just a selection of Hawaiian shirts and like maybe like
Actual,
douchey frat bro New York.
well,
like, outfits.
like tourist on the beach
Yeah.
look. You know, I was gonna say, okay, I have to go into my a couple cons that aren't really cons. I just think
Okay.
are funny.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, if I ever see a dude in a hat like that, or especially a ball cap, because he's wearing like a baseball hat type of thing quite a bit. If I see a guy with a baseball hat, shades, a Hawaiian shirt, I immediately think they're suspicious because of movies. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If I saw a dude,
I'm gonna come in wearing a baseball cap, a Hawaiian shirt, and shades,
dude, just
and see if you recognize me.
go to like the closest airport and just do some people watching. You see anyone in a baseball hat, shades, and a Hawaiian shirt, they're up to no good. I'm just telling you, like, straight up, they are doing something illegal. It's a fact.
Okay.
And then also like, you know, they show him going to a lot of different desks, like hotel desks, the gym towards the end of the movie, the Enterprise, like getting a rental car, him interacting with a person at a desk and like giving them a fake ID, getting a rental car or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're always like, "Have a nice day, Mr. Madison," or whatever his fake ID says. And he doesn't say anything. He's just like,
Thank
and
you.
then he like he does he doesn't.
He says thanks. He says
thanks
like
like
once.
but like not. And it's like his whole deal is like, don't be memorable.
Yeah.
I get that, I do, but like
he does. Okay. Now,
but
my
like,
one thing.
but like, okay, you're the person at the desk at the rental car place. A dude looking like Michael Fassbender comes up, you know, like shades, a Hawaiian shirt, and like a hat. You know, you give him what he needs, and you might say like thanks, like real quiet, or like just walk away without saying anything.
I would
Don't
not.
you think that's like you would
I don't
notice that more than someone who's like, hey, thanks, have a nice day?
I don't know.
Don't you think? Okay,
maybe
tell me that's not true because like
no, I
we've
get
both
what you're
been
getting. I
we've
get
both
what
been
you're
on a
adding
cash
at.
register in our lives.
I get what you're saying.
You remember like when people leave the theater, you recognize them from earlier in the day or whatever.
Yes.
You would remember the person who's like kind of weird and doesn't say anything more than the person who's like, "Hey, thanks," and like walks away
That's
like
fair,
normal, right?
No, I get it. That's fair.
That was a con I had.
Yeah.
Because it's like, would it kill him to just? Would it kill him to act up a little bit? Because he does that later in the movie when he steals the janitor's like.
That's what I was also gonna say. It's
he's
like,
like he pretends like it ripped his jacket when he stole it, and he's like, brand new, like his jacket, like, and like he totally didn't come off as being genuine there, which I think is funny, but that's the only time he like acts up. You know what I mean? Like, sells the situation. I don't know. It wouldn't kill him to like just
to act
like,
a little bit.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not advocating murder or anything. But if you're looking,
but if you are,
if you're looking,
have a little more pep in your step, please.
If you're looking to follow the blueprint laid out by Mr. Fincher in this movie, I don't think it would kill you to sell it a little bit and be like, hey, thanks, like, have a nice day, like, and then instead of just being like, thanks, and like walking away slowly. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Fair point.
And then the last thing I wanted to mention was when he's staking out these people. I'm thinking especially of the Tilda Swinton part.
Yeah.
He's following her.
He falls asleep. I have a feeling I know what you're gonna say. Are you gonna say?
I'm talking about the New York segment, not when he falls asleep.
No, he falls asleep in the car.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does. He falls asleep.
When he's staking out her house.
Yeah.
I get. Okay, yeah. Don't fall asleep when you're trying to like, keep eyes on someone. But what I was gonna say is like when he's tailing her, he's being really obvious, and it's like when I'm driving a car and I notice there's a car behind me, and it's this a couple miles later, it's the same car. I'm like, I immediately am suspicious, or like I pay attention.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just me being weird.
I don't know, movie logic.
But and then she gets out and goes in the restaurant or whatever, and of course it like movie logic, right? Whatever vantage point he's at, he has the perfect vantage point to see her through the windows as she's like walking in, being greeted at the door, and then like going up this, and then like later when she's like going to her seat. If it was real life and like I'm Michael Fassbender in this situation, I'd get out and like they'd go into the building and like trying to look at the windows to see if like, okay, where did Tilda Swinton go? And they're like, dang it, I can't see her. Where did she go? And then I'd be like, huh? And then like I'd go in there and like she left already, and I'd be like, fuck, dang it, I didn't notice.
Damn it.
Like I couldn't see her through the windows that were perfectly framed like a movie for me to look through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I get it. But it's like movie logic.
I know. I just think that's funny because that happens a lot in movies where you can follow them through the building like every step of the way.
I will say this is the good thing about like I know that we talked about FNAF already, but I think like that movie logic, dumb movie logic.
That movie had no logic.
This movie has like believable good logic.
Yeah, believable good logic, and besides my extreme nitpicking there, really keeps it realistic.
But yeah.
If you're tailing someone, there's no way you're gonna be like see them through each window perfectly like that. Yeah. But you know.
No, I get it. But this movie's great. I think a lot of people should watch it. It's #1 on Netflix right now. I guarantee at the end of the week it's gonna be number 7, and then it's gonna fall into obscurity, which I don't want it to. But
I did want to say something else. This whole revenge plot is set up, and like. The person they beat up didn't even die. His love interest or whatever. Yeah. She didn't. She's alive.
So?
They just beat her up.
Yeah.
He murders like 7 people, and she's like, okay.
I think.
He's making a point.
Yeah. Okay. But I don't know. I think.
I just think that's interesting. Because it's like, what's the quote from the Joker? It's like, it's not about the money, like, you know, like it's about sending a message.
Yeah, no, I get it. And I think that's what this movie is. And this is This movie's great. Go watch it, please. Any last thoughts? Because
I will personally fund whatever movie Fincher is looking to make next. Now, I don't have a lot of money, Mr. Fincher.
I was gonna say.
You probably have a lot more money than I do.
All right, you're not gonna make big on that because you know what the box office for The Killer was?
No.
$318,000.
Well, what?
It was released a little bit. It was released in theaters for a little bit.
It was.
So yeah,
I thought it was just straight to Netflix.
no, it was in theaters beforehand, but limited run. But
It should. Man, this would have been cool on the big screen.
I think it would be cool. But
Why didn't it get a wide release?
it should have. It really should have. But I think
Instead, we're stuck with It's a Wonderful Knife,
no,
which is a real movie.
we're not covering that.
We're not. No, of course not. But I'm just saying.
I don't know. Yeah, no, this is a great movie. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that kind of wraps a nice little bow.
It is pretty similar to John Wick. Let's just admit
no,
that.
shut up. It's better. It's better.
He literally
it's better.
digs up his
better.
weapon
Shut up.
box.
The
only difference is that he wasn't
speaking.
retired to begin with. You know, like John Wick is retired at the beginning of the movie.
Stop speaking. They're gonna make they're gonna make Killer 2 and then Killer 3 and then Killer 4, and I don't want
Fassbender's, the killer character, whatever his do we ever get his real
Nope.
name? Oh, that is brilliant. I love that. We never get his real name. But I didn't notice that until just now. That's cool. We don't get to see his version of the Continental Hotel. We don't know what rules he's operating by.
Don't give him ideas for the Killer 2. I don't want the Killer 2. But anyways,
The Killer Too Fast to Killer.
To kill too fast.
Something like that.
to killer.
Homicide. just the word homicide.
But I think that wraps a nice little bow on our kind of catch up episode.
Oh wait! I forgot. The part where he's in the van. What was he eating?
He was eating an egg. That's the
but
easiest thing.
I thought he popped it out of a wrapper like a Twinkie.
They have eggs in
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
They've
We're gonna go to a gas station. They have them at gas stations.
like a hard-boiled egg.
Yes.
Dude, that's so gross.
You know what?
Who would buy a hard-boiled egg from a gas
After recording, we'll go to a gas station and I will show you that they have.
It's funny. I asked the question, who would buy a hard-boiled egg from a gas station in a plastic wrapper like that? And the answer is
A killer.
a psycho killer.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go.
But yeah, this has been our little catch-up episode. Hopefully we won't have another 2-week hiatus there. Just kind of bad timing.
Join us in 3 years when we talk about FNAF 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
actually, it's over until FNAF 2 comes out, and to the killer.
Two kill too fast.
Yeah, we have a lot of
and then
a lot of movies coming up.
The third one's gonna be The Killer, but the E is a backwards, like is a
No, God, they would do that though.
They would do that.
But yeah, there's
Or
a bunch of stop.
Or like
I'm
The
stopping
Killer,
you.
but
I'm
it's-
stopping you on the
okay.
Killer sequel titles right
Okay.
now.
The Killer 2, but the L's are like a Roman numeral 2. That'd be pretty good.
Jesus Christ. But we have a lot of stuff coming up this November, so we're hopefully going to recover some of it. Maybe not all of it, but some of it.
Oh, we'll cover Napoleon.
We will cover Napoleon. Kind of up in the air. I do want to see if we got Next Goal Wins. I kind of want to see how that is. I heard it's not great, but
Can Taika
come back after Love and Thunder?
Can he recover?
Yeah. They have that's coming out. We have Wish, if you want a Disney, the new Disney.
I don't know about Disney animated
Wish,
features at this point, but
we have Holdovers that just came out that we could do. Still want to see that. Hopefully it's good. Heard it's great, honestly. But yeah, there's a lot. Hopefully we can cover it on here. We're definitely trying our best. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there's Maestro, Saltburn, May December. Please
dude.
Don't Destroy movie.
Hey man,
One of my most anticipated.
it kind of felt like a slow year for movies, but man, it's picking up right
It's
towards
picking
the
up,
end.
yeah.
Man.
Oh,
it's picking up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it definitely is. But But
low key getting like a pretty good year for movies. Slowly.
I'm excited. I'm excited for anything that comes out later, and hopefully we can cover it here on this show.
Mhm.
If you want to follow me on Letterboxd, where I try to keep it updated. I haven't put in like anything from the past week. You can follow me.
Me neither. I've fallen behind on logging stuff. Too,
Okay, yeah, but just still follow us though.
Oh yeah.
It'll be up there. You can follow me on Letterboxd at _filmworker_.
You can follow me on Letterboxd at Trevzilla.
And-
Godzilla -1 comes out soon too.
That is true. Oh, you want to do that as well?
We don't have to cover it necessarily, but I will be watching it at some point.
Okay.
Just throwing it out there.
All right. You can also follow this show on Spotify at The Fine Cut, as well as on YouTube at After the Credits. That's the channel name, and you can just look up The Fine Cut. They're all there.
If you don't like our takes, leave comments. We
Yeah.
want to hear. We want to hear your differing takes, or if you agree with us, or whatever.
We just want to tell you you're wrong. We're actually right.
No, no. I was just like I would enjoy talking to people about.
It would be nice, but you can also follow this. You can also follow us on Instagram, at _after_the_credits_. We try to post updates. We try to post our new episode releases as well there. So
I gotta feed you some good miscellaneous content ideas.
Yeah.
You know me. I got. We should make a poster for To Kill Too Fast or something.
And then the Killer 3.
Yeah, we should.
It
It should be like me in like the hat and like a Hawaiian shirt and like.
That's the direct to DVD sequel.
The bootleg sequel.
That you star in.
That's a great idea though. We should make joke movie posters, like unironically. I'd have so much fun doing that.
I think it would be fun, but if you want to see that might be coming in the near future on the Instagram, so go on ahead and follow that. But thank you guys so much for listening, and we hope to see you next week. Hopefully we don't have another 2-week hiatus.
Hey man, I was prepped and ready to go.
Sorry that there was some communication errors and I was sick. Okay. Sorry. But yeah, we'll see you guys hopefully next week. And yeah, go see The Killer.
Yes. 100%.
So, all right. See ya.
Bye.